recording. Okay, cool. So welcome everyone out there. This is Imperium Maledictum. The campaign is going to be called An Ancient Evil. And this is kind of a Season 2-ish of a Dark Heresy game that is several years old that we haven't played for a long time. And I have two new returning players from that game, Djangus and Newt, which we'll get into in a moment. And let's get to a introduction. And bear with me. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right. Prelude number 1, Bon Voyage. The great foyer that led into the Citadel Serpent's Bridge is adorned with wealth unimaginable. Red and gold tapestries dress the walls, a massive crystal chandelier hangs from a 6-meter ceiling. A sculpture of two women coupling seems to draw your eye, even more so than the dozens of other works of art. Newt has been aboard this ship for a standard year, leaving his home on Sacris after events that unfolded there. Djangus wasn't ignorant to the Imperium of Man and the horrors that existed in the warp and the deep parts of the Milky Way galaxy. Heretics, enemy rogue traders, and Xenos had all been a menace. The pair had lost fellow acolytes to death, but it was all expected. They were, after all, just a cog in a very big machine. But today they waited for an audience with the Inquisitor Tolcain of the Ordo Xenos. She was a powerful psyker and had been particularly interested in Djangus's meeting with the Drukhari. He has been questioned for weeks, but eventually nothing came of it. The days moved on. What was an audience then? Only time would tell. Another mission? They usually got those from their throne agent, not the Inquisitors themselves. Something hinted at change. And this is just a map of the Coronis Expanse, which won't be that important, but I thought it would be nice to include it. Let me switch the scene for you guys, and just let me know that everybody can see.
Yeah.
Everybody can see.
Yep, I see.
Yeah, so why don't you guys go ahead and give me some introductory roleplay as you're kind of waiting to be seen by the Inquisitor.
Go ahead, Newt.
Look. Newt is standing in the corner of the room. It has been a year since he left Sakaris. And over that year, much has changed. When Newt first left his home world, he was unaware of how vast the universe and the galaxy is, and the threats that face the Imperium of Man, the threats that wish to undo the good work of his god, his emperor. But his time with Djangus has shown him there is much to fight, much to resist against. Over the year that he's been on the ship, he has done what he can to acclimatize himself to the world, the real world, not what he remembers of his small planet and his small tribe. He still feels out of place many a time, for he does not understand the niceties and the various courtesies that one must do in elevated public. But he is a loyal servant to his emperor, to his god, and he will do what he must to protect the Imperium until his last dying breath. And he looks towards Djangus, who maybe just possibly enters the room. Go ahead, Ghost.
Djangus steps in and throws the cloak back over his shoulders a bit. Had been curling around to the front, and that gets annoying real fast. It'd been a while since he'd been on board the ship. well, since he's been back home. Long time now. Service on this vessel had changed him and changed a lot around him. He'd been interrogated, spoken with over and over again. Sometimes harsh, sometimes harsher still. But he remained loyal to the Emperor, despite it all. And more so to the people under the Imperium. He had hoped to make a difference at any cost. But there were so many burdens that were starting to become too much to bear. And now the uncertainty of the future going forward. But there at least is certainty in his company. And Djangus walks in the room, tips his hat to Newt. Well, there's a face I don't mind seeing again. Newt, how are you doing?
Brother Djangus, it is good to see a familiar face in these surroundings. I am still at unease with everything I see, but I do realize that the will of the Emperor works in mysterious ways.
That he does. That he does. But if you hold true to your faith, and you do what feels right in the moment, all reveals itself to you in time.
Indeed it does. For I must say, are fortunate that our paths are ordained by the Emperor, and our deeds will always be honor-bound.
Do not they tell you anything about what we're supposed to be getting into today? This ain't normal procedure.
Yes, that's what worries me so. I am but a lowly servant to be called into these quarters. But in my experience, it never bodes well for someone of my stature.
Well, it could be on account of me. I'm sorry if I got you dragged into something here dangerous like Newt. I feel like I'm persona non grata around here recently, on account of, well, recent experiences.
Ah, if they need a character reference, then I shall provide one. For I have fought with you in battle, brother. And I know no greater valor, and I wish for no braver soldier by my side. It has been quite boring to be on this ship without seeing the heat of battle, the blood of our enemies gushing and spurting on the battlefield. Maybe they will give us a mission for our sins, and maybe once again we shall be of use to our Emperor.
And Djangus will come up and he'll pat Newt on the shoulder. It'll be good to be fighting with you again. Lost too many good friends, Newt. I'm seeing less and less familiar faces around here, and that don't bode well.
Ah. Well, then together we shall face what comes our way. After all, what is this life but in the service of the Emperor?
True enough. True enough.
As you're pondering what comes next for you, the great double doors with the eagle of the Emperor and the Imperium emblazoned on them in gold cracks open, and a very small man lined with scrolls, and he has a data slate hanging from a mechadendrite that is connected to his back in some manner. He wears a huge cyber cyber attachments to his eyes, and he has a what would you consider kind of a typewriter that's hanging there off his stomach by these large holsters that strap over his shoulder, and he simply says, "She will see you now," and he just kind of scuttles past as you the door is left cracked open for you to enter.
Djangus does.
As you do, you see a tall, lithe woman wearing a ceremonial headdress with the sigil of the Inquisition emblazoned on the front of it. She has, you've seen her a few times. Not you mostly have thoughts of her, Djangus, from your questioning over the Drukari, and she was one of your main questioners. Her one eye is completely devoid of anything. It's just an empty socket. And the other is this pale, glowing, it doesn't even look like an eye. It doesn't look like a cyberware. It just looks like a something strange, pulsating a bit as she turns, as she leans on a black metal staff and waves you forward with her long fingers and longer fingernails almost. "Enter! Good, it is good that you have come. We have some things to discuss, acolytes."
Djangus will come all the way in the room, and he'll bow as he imagines his tradition for this sort of thing. We're at your service, Inquisitor.
Newt moves forward and bows as well. At your service.
The Inquisitor smiles, and you see her teeth are filed into points, and she gives it is a very cryptic look as she steps forward, her black robes spraying out behind her as she walks, and she says, "Good, I won't beat around the bush. Your destiny lies away from the Cronus Expanse and the Inquisition. You're being released from duty here. Your services have been sold."
Sold. Djangus looks up. He looks over to Newt.
Newt looks back at Djangus and then to the Inquisitor. "In the service of the Emperor."
"All that we do is in the service of the God Emperor, his holy visage on terra. This is... sold is perhaps a vile word in this case, more exchanged for a favor. You see, the Cronus Expanse is ever vast, but we are being pulled away for different duties in various places. You will no longer report to the Inquisition. Your services are being outfitted to the 1001 blood-raging mercantile fleet. You are to rendezvous with them in the Malcharian Sector."
And Djangus, he's confused, but he's gonna try to play it straight. By your will, how exactly are we gonna be heading over there? Is there a ship to take us, or?
Yes, a Voyage ship will be here today, I believe, and you are to set off immediately.
Very well. By his will. Once again.
Newt looks at the Inquisitor. With your leave, the Emperor protects.
There is one thing I would speak to you before you go. Now that you are free of my chain of authority, I will continue to look for the murderers of the acolytes in Port Wanderer, notably Icazarius, the Arbite. No one kills acolytes like that. It is an affront to the Inquisition. I hope that you will ally yourself with me if and when the murderers are found. Deadly retribution is best served by peers of those that have been wronged. And you'll remember that there was a time, basically it was the beginning of the last Dark Heresy session, where Icazarius was found pinned up to a wall or something in Port Wanderer, murdered. And Icazarius was Chris's character, if you're...
Oh, the Arbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Djangus clenches his fist and he nods. Absolutely. Icazarius was a friend and an ally. It would not behoove us to allow those who committed such an affront to the Emperor to survive.
Anyone who has harmed the Inquisition shall pay dearly at my hands. I will ally myself with you, Inquisitor, when the time comes. I am in your service.
I will find you then, if necessary, and I will send you missives through acquired telepathica. You may go now. May the Emperor live in your hearts. She looks at Djangus. And know that if you do feel the corruption of chaos in your soul, you should report it immediately as leal servants of the Emperor.
Djangus picks up on that threat. He nods. Should ever such a day come, I won't hesitate. By your leave. He nods and he will step curtly out of the room after that.
Yeah. Yep. You step out of the room, back into the hallway. There's no one there, and you can do as you will.
Yeah, he'll wait for Newt and look to him. Well, that wasn't exactly what I was expecting.
Yes. Why was the Inquisitor so cryptic? Why would you ever have chaos in your heart, Djangus? She does not know you as well as I.
There's a lot of things that go into that, Newt. Could be because I'm a mutant. Could be because of whatever happened that I can't seem to remember. I don't know. I don't feel no different. But things are changing. I suppose we gotta gather up our things, huh?
All my things fit in a small sack, except my heirloom, my great sword, the bane of Sarkaris, the right hand of the Emperor.
That big blade what separates flesh from bone, I've seen it in action.
I have been practicing in the pits of fight in this ship. believe I have become better since we last met. Believe I shall be able to do the Emperor's bidding with greater skill.
Well, it weren't much trouble for you before. I can count on my fingers, one hand, how many people I've met what killed a rogue traitor. Even fewer than that, down to one, who've done so and not face retribution for it.
Yes. Quite in fact, I did not know at that time that the Adeptes, Astartes, wanted me. But I believe I am best served by your side, in the trenches.
Well, I appreciate you sticking around, Newt. Hopefully we continue to do good things for people.
Indeed, indeed. Come, let us prepare to make way.
Give me one sec here. I just thought of something. It's not easy to just pull a token over, unfortunately. 2 seconds.
Out of character, here comes Vanso.
Yep.
Rolling in.
100%. 100%.
Greatest guardsman in the Imperium.
Something like that.
Who played Vanso?
That was
North.
that was North.
North!
The loony. Sorry if you still listen, North. It's accurate. I hate to break it to you.
The player that always was anti other PCs.
Backstabbing. Yeah, always backstabbing everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Can't forget that face.
No. I'll have a better token later, but so yeah, you go and you collect your things, and some servant comes and tells you both that the Raven's Call, a Voyage ship, is ready for your departure. As you head to the hangar, you see a familiar face, Djangus particularly. I'm not sure Newt ever actually went on a mission with Vanso, but Vanso's sitting there. He's got his helmet off. He's got a very thin face and clean-shaven, scar on his forehead, and he says, okay, French accent. As you are leaving us, eh?
Yeah, Djangus didn't notice him right away, but now he's seen him, and he's putting it together because usually Vanso's got his helmet on, and recognizes the voice. Not soon enough, I suppose.
Not soon enough for a mutant? A mutant that I have heard ventured to the Dark Eldar's worlds? Certainly a corrupted being, and that should be put down. If it was up to me, I would have your head.
Well, it's a good thing that things aren't up to you, Vanso, or else a lot of decent folk would have died.
Psh, decent folk. Unsanctioned psychots, mutants. These are decent folk for you, no doubt.
They're worth 100 of you.
He looks over to Newt, and then back to Djangus. I will never see you again, but if I do, you will be on the end of my blade or my las pistol.
You better hope you see me, Vanso, because if I see you again, I think you know what'll happen to you.
He doesn't stick around. He just kind of huffs and walks down the hallway, and you see him spit on the floor as he does so. Unless Newt, you have something to say, or anybody else, he's going to take off.
No, Newt doesn't say anything to him, just like stares him down.
Yeah, Djangus watches him go, looks to Newt, shakes his head. That fella's a godless son of a bitch.
Yes, I have met many like him. They believe they serve the Emperor best in fervor alone, not action.
When I hear that fella, all the things he tried to do, all the things he did, the blowhard, that's a face I won't miss.
Maybe we'll see him in the future. And if we are so lucky, we shall separate his head from his body, for we are no longer with the Inquisition. We have a new master now, which means he is neither a brother nor a compatriot.
He still stirs the Inquisition, Newt. It's all idle threats between the two of us. Though, if you ever force my hand... Djangus looks at the pistol in his holster on his belt. I can't say I'd miss him. Let's get out of here.
Yes. Let's leave.
You walk down a hatch to a ship. It's very different from this rogue trader Imperial cruiser, and this is a smaller void ship, you can tell. And it's in not disrepair necessarily, but it's definitely not nearly as opulent as this rogue trader vessel. Even the crew quarters of the rogue trader ship is just immaculate from anything you've ever experienced in your life, particularly when you walk into the common areas, the hallways. It's all grandeur. Obviously the bridge is something else, and those areas, but even the more standard areas where this is very gray and dull, and the CDL Serpent was brought to life by many colors of tapestries and artwork and gold and other precious metals. You hear that very familiar metallic clanging as your boots hit the ground on slightly raised platform, raised floor, kind of hollow beneath your feet, and you're directed to the crew, not the crew quarters, but the passenger quarters. And it's kind of a common area with a bulk, a few beds, a few other people standing around, sitting, waiting to leave. It appears that these people are people that you've not ever seen before or would know who they are. And you're guessing that they are probably travelers on the ship for some reason, and that this ship came here to pick you up and had been somewhere before. Let me switch that scene for you. And you can just tell me how that looks to you and what you're doing and
Oh shit.
all that stuff.
What the fuck? Out of character, Really?
They're just ugly. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, okay. I guess Djangus can't judge, but oh my god.
They have some, augmentation.
Yeah, no. I'm picky. Yeah,
you can blame Midjourney.
that's okay. That's okay. Djangus, Djangus comes in, and he knows this ain't where they're gonna be, so he's keeping to himself here. Newt's the only other person he knows, and he figures that whoever he has to meet, people he has to meet, he'll do it. He's not gonna be rude to nobody, but he just kind of comes in with his bag. He's just got a basically backpack and a satchel. And he looks around, finds a place with a room that's a bit empty, and sets all his things down. Just starts going through gear checks and leaning back up against the wall.
Newt walks through the bulkhead area and then sees these two. He kind of raises an eyebrow, doesn't say anything. Looks to Djangus and shakes his head ever so slightly. He takes a bunk to the opposite side of the room, kind of like without meaning to. He's making sure that he's flanking Djangus. He has just one duffel bag and his greatsword that's wrapped in like a leather scabbard, kind of slung across his shoulder. He throws the backpack onto the bed and hangs the sword on a post, and then jumps on the bed and starts staring at the ceiling.
Another fellow walks down the hallway. He has goggles kind of placed over his head, and he looks. These two are fitted out with, augments and of various types. But the other one walks forward. And he's like, "Ah, newcomers! You must be the ones they came to pick up. I'm Jericho. What's your name?"
Djangus looks Jericho and he tips his head. "Nice to meet you, Jericho. I'm Djangus."
What about you?
Newt continues staring at the ceiling, and he says, "The name is Newt. Thank you for the ride."
"No, I'm not I'm a passenger. I'm not the pilot of this ship. You're joining the 1001st then, huh?"
Now Newt kind of turns over and props himself on an elbow and looks at Jericho. "Yes, indeed. What do you know about them?"
No, we all are. We're all signed up. A new mercenary company, they say. I'm a pilot. Not the pilot of this ship, but a pilot.
Well,
What do you like to fly generally? Small craft, voyage ship?
I prefer the small ones. Gun cutters, things of that nature. Lighters. More maneuverable, more fun. You can scrape the ground. Voyage ships are boring. You could barely hit anything if you wanted to.
Yeah, Djangus thinks about the whole hitting thing. It's kind of making him wary. This guy seems a little bit of a nutter. I see. You get into a lot of collisions?
Well, almost collisions. It's fun. Dodging things, flying through things, around things, shooting things, bombing things, scraping things.
I see. Are you a freelancer, or did you serve somewhere else?
Oh, I've been around. Was conscripted into the Militarium, of course, back in the day, but served my time, and now here I am, making the Solars and the Gelts hand over fist.
Out of character, what is it to see if someone's lying? Is it intuition?
I believe so. Yeah, you can roll that. Go ahead. That's a go ahead and roller.
I have This fella's, what's difficulty? Just normal?
Just
challenging?
whatever you're, just challenging, whatever, normal one.
Because he's a little bit too excited about some of the stuff he's been saying. Yeah.
You don't know. You're not sure. He does seem weird, but this is the galaxy.
I was in the Inquisition. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Djangus lets it go. He doesn't. Sometimes pilots are goofy people. So he just kind of. Well, glad to hear someone got out of the military. Look forward to serving with you, I suppose.
What are your specialties? You don't look like the stock and file around here. That's a big sword. Says to Newt's big ass great sword.
Yes. The bane of Sakaris, the Emperor's right hand. You address it that way. My purpose? My purpose is to relieve heads from shoulders in the direction I'm pointed at.
Well, let's hope you're never pointed in my direction. I'm here to take you where you need to go and blow shit up in the process and dodge a few things and get really close to flying to do a couple things, you know.
No, of course not. As long as the light of Emperor shines on you, through you, within you,
Oh,
then I shall not.
by the Lord God, Emperor, you know it. What about you? You got a funny hat. Looks at Djangus.
Yeah, Djangus, he shrugs. I never considered myself all that special. Just lucky, I guess. I was a bounty hunter before this.
Before this?
Well, before. Long ago. Feels like another lifetime. More recently, been in service to the Emperor. Just in a more clandestine way, I suppose.
I was able to figure out where we're going. This is a rogue traitor ship, is it not, that we're docked with?
Out of character, we just got on.
Yeah,
board.
you just got on board, so you're still docked with the ship. Or at least you there's no indication that you've undocked yet, but
Right. Yeah. So Djangus is thinking that's probably the cover, right? They don't want to know it's an inquisitorial vessel. So he.
well, just to level set, it is a rogue trader vessel that was commandeered by the Inquisition. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's Djangus just nods. He doesn't elaborate. Yep, that's true.
Well, I guess we'll be roommates for a little while until we get to the Malcharian Sector, where our new employers are going to make some money. While, of course, serving the God Emperor, of course. But if you were employed by a rogue trader, then you know all about profit.
Well, we weren't exactly high up on the list of the profit earning, but we were doing some things for the folks who were in charge.
Well, let's hope those solars fall down into our pockets a little deeper here. Right?
I can do with or without, if I'm being honest with you.
He looks a little confused by that, considering what this place is and why you're on the ship, at least in his assumption. And he's, well, you tell Jericho if you need to go somewhere and kill something, okay?
I'll look you up.
And he gives a look to Newt and his big sword, and Emperor's right hand? Big man that wields it. I'm going to take a nap. And he finds a cot and kind of throws himself on it. And you've never seen someone fall asleep more quickly. He just begins like snoring very heavily, as the others in the cabin kind of look frustratedly at him.
I feel that our journey is continuing to get interesting. If this is just but the start, I cannot imagine what awaits us in the Malcharian Sector.
You never know what you're getting in the galaxy, Newt. Just like with you. One day you're on your planet, don't know nothing different, and the next, you're traveling across the galaxy.
Indeed.
Eventually you hear the loud clang of the Voyage ship disconnecting from the Imperial cruiser, the Sea Serpent. And the next few days, you are flying through the Cronus Expanse, heading toward the Mall. If you remember, the Mall is a section of the Cronus Expanse where the Imperium, and there's a bunch of warp storms there, but it's the only way you can actually go into the warp to, fly long distances and get through the Cronus Expanse into the rest of the galaxy. And so you're in just normal space at this point. You're all sleeping, night and day don't exist, but you're sleeping at the cycle of your chronos tell you that it's nighttime. And you hear this, there's this massive jolt which almost throws you out of your cots, and a loud bang that goes with it, and there's some sirens, emergency klaxon type of things that go on for just a few minutes and then shut off, and then you just see red lights blinking throughout the cabin. The cabin's dimmed lights as it's sleeping time.
Newt jumps down from his cot and clutches his sword and looks around.
Out of character, that's not usual protocol for nap time, is it?
No.
Yeah, Djangus, when he hears the klaxons, he startles up, and he's jumping up, and he draws his pistol, puts his hat on. What the hell is all that about?
Did he hit something?
Yeah, the other two, you notice that Jericho's not here, actually. The other two kind of do the similar thing. They get up and kind of arm themselves and look around, kind of confused. And you hear the Voxcaster in the ship kind of crackle. This is Tobias Forge, your new captain. Don't panic. No one will be hurt. No one at all. I am, well, except one. I'm a bounty hunter, you see, and I'm looking for one Newt McAllister. And all the displays in the room kind of show like a picture of Newt. One that kind of he's kind of cleaned himself up in the last year from what he did look like, and the token that he had kind of suggests that he had a longer beard, wild hair. Now he's kind of his beard is shorter, his hair is shorter, so it's a picture of him some time ago. And he said, the voice on the Vox says, "I will give you 1,000 solars for his head. Bring it to the cockpit, or we'll go through cabin to cabin and kill everyone." And, the picture's there, and the people in the room are looking at it, and then slowly they look over to Newt. They look at it, look over to Newt, and kind of seem to be kind of weighing what to do.
Now, go ahead, Newt, sorry.
Newt looks at the other travelers in the room. You must ask yourself this question. If 1,000 Solaris is worth your life, or the pain of watching your head roll on the ground as your body just collapses into a heap of meat. Worry not, I shall make my own way to the cockpit. Why must you bother yourself with this matter? Sleep. Or I will put you to sleep myself. The choice is yours.
Let's see here. What is intimidation?
Oh yeah,
It should be under something. It's a specialty of something. It's probably presence.
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a presence roll. But it's going to be it's the difficulty is going to be difficult.
Good. Okay.
Is there anything I can say in assistance to help?
I'll give you. Yeah, you can. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. So Djangus seeing the cards around the table, it seems like they're probably gonna try to chase that money as opposed to potentially be killed by this guy. He's got his hand on his pistol. Now hold on, fellas. We're loyal servants to the Emperor here, and you're about to go into a whole new line of work. Don't throw your lives away. I've seen him use that sword before. He's still here, and nothing he ever turned it on has ever lived. Work with us. Put in a good word for you. Work against us, and we're just gonna throw you out the airlock. I don't want to be the one to do it.
Right on. So, okay. What we'll do is let's do so the difficulty is going to be difficult still, but roll with advantage.
Okay. Here goes.
That's 100. Oh my god. Okay. They just pull their pistols and start going to work. They just look at each other. They're totally not believing any of it for whatever reason, and they just pull their pistols and proceed to attack. So let's. Oh man, that's terrible.
Ain't no sense of self-preservation, man. No, it's fine. Yeah. That makes sense.
Alright, so I don't have any sort of dynamic lighting or anything on here. This room down here is the shitter, so that's where Jericho is, if you care to know. But he's not involved in this. So, what we're going to do, so this is kind of initiative. There's no rolling for initiative, so I'm just going to... there's no superiority. That's the first thing we would figure out, is if there's superiority. Superiority would basically, if you have a plan of attack, figure basically planning your attack and knowing your enemy and that sort of thing gives you superiority. Superiority, it goes from 0 to 3. If you have, for every 1 superiority you have, you get an SL for all your tasks, for all your tests, I should say. So superiority is 0. If you want to look at that second tab over, the combat tab is what it is. you'll see I've set the superiority to 0. So right now we have superiority of 0. It can change through a combat, and so yeah. And it also has something to do with like whoever you fight, the NPCs usually have resolve, and if superiority is above the resolve, then the guys usually try to flee or something similar. So what I can do very quickly is I can just select everyone and then throw them on the combat tracker, which I just did. You'll see them there. And then now I'm just going to roll initiative, roll all. Obviously, there's no rolling in the system. It's just whatever your initiative is. So here we have basically, I think the initiative is how does it? I can't remember. It's something plus something. I don't know the first digit of something, and then your reflexes is your I think it's your reflexes. Isn't that right? Yeah, I might be wrong. But anyway, it's all calculated automatically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Begin Combat, and Djangus is up. Okay, so we're going to take this pretty slow. I'm going to assume everybody has their weapons out already, so we don't have to worry about that part. Let me get to the right page in the PDF.
Oh, it is initiative plus reflexes.
Yeah, but yeah, reflex. Right, that's a skill. That's right. That's why I wasn't seeing it. But your initiative is produced from something, right? A 7. I can't remember exactly where it comes from.
In the sheet it's just a number you can't change, but
right.
Yeah, it says 6.
Yeah. It comes from some characteristic. Let me just pull. Okay, so combat. Okay, so we're not using zones. So if you look at there in the journal, I'm just gonna show this to everyone, just so they know it's there. Okay. So this is here, and just be aware of it. That first one, the 1, is pretty important. Basically, there's no zones. When anything references a zone, it's just 4-meter sphere from where the midpoint is. And we're doing everything by grid-based movement, squares. So the range is there, immediate is 2 meters. That's really for the range of your weapons. And then movement, typically you get a free action, so you can move 2 meters for free, and then you can move up to your speed, and then if you take the run action, you can move your speed again. You both have normal rates of movement, so you can move up to 8 meters. That's 4 squares. That's with your movement. So there's a movement, and then there's a movement action, or I'm sorry, there's a movement and then an action. So you can always move up to 8 meters. Plus your free 2 meters, so really you can move up to 5 meters for free. And you can move either before you attack, or before your action or after your action. So after, other than that, we can get into the details of things. But so Djangus, you are up. You have a weapon out, whichever one you want. I'm guessing your stub, and you can do as you wish.
So Djangus is going to move up right here.
Yep.
This is to clarify, that's a wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So he's going to move up into the wall and use my tactical movement talent, where I get into a safe position quicker. So I'm going to take cover.
Yeah, as a free action.
Yeah, as a free action.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot at the Void Traveler.
So what to do is to click on him and hit T, and then on your character sheet, go to your combat, and your combat tab, if you will, and then just click on that stub revolver, and it should give you all the options. This is a single shot weapon, so there's not really anything to do about burst fire or anything like that. It should just it should shoot, and then it should tell me that you have rolled, and then I'll need to make a reaction, because you get one reaction per round per guy.
So there are two things I'll bring up. It's the stub revolver's mastercrafted, which is a +1 SL to
Okay.
anything attempted with it
Go.
for the
Yep.
master.
Go ahead and put that in there because it'll ask you.
Yep. And then it is also laser sighted, so that's another SL. So
Okay, so just
SL.
put 2 in there.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
I want to make sure that's on the recording so we can.
Yep. Perfect.
Be clear about it. Is that rolling? Did that roll or no?
I did not see a roll.
No. There we go.
Okay, so we have a -1, and he is not going to defend. He doesn't need to, because that's a miss. So that is a miss, and yeah. So how does that look as you take a shot and you miss the Void Traveler there?
Seeing the guns come up, Djangus rushes up to get into cover, and as he's doing it, he fires off a shot at the nearest one. It pings off the wall and kind of ricochets around the room a bit before it gets lost in one of the mattresses.
Alright, I gotta see, what does cover do? Does it give me disadvantage? I mean, I gotta look. I gotta find
yeah,
that.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah, because he's gonna return fire. I don't have any. He doesn't have any real specific things to do other than that. So I'm gonna go in the combat tab. What I do is I do next turn, and then it's gonna hover over the next Void Traveler. I'll just do them both, obviously. The first is gonna shoot at Djangus. Or actually,
Cover.
yeah, good.
Is plus, so it's up to you on whatever it is. It's either partial or total. Partial cover is usually about chest high, large enough to crouch behind. Partial grants +3 armor to all hit locations for ranged attacks.
Okay.
Total cover is comfortable enough to stand behind, and it gives 6 armor to all hit locations.
We'll
for
do
ranged
partial.
attacks.
We'll do
Gotcha.
partial. From Void Traveler 1 at least. So Void Traveler 1, he is going to take a shot at you. I might move after. We'll see. He's going to take a shot. Let me get to... this is a little different on the NPC tabs. So he can do a burst fire too. He's going to burst. Oh, I didn't target you, but he missed anyway. So let me make sure. Yeah. So just like his stub revolver or stub pistol just blasts that wall in front of you, and he actually for his movement is gonna. Oh, I don't want to do that. He's gonna like move back a few, kind of moving away. This Void Traveler is going to use his free movement to move over that way. Going to make sure I have a line of sight on you. I think he does, Newt. And he's going to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure that's close. Well, let me make sure, because he could be out of range, actually. At this, so how many meters is he away? He's 12 meters away. So I got to look at my optional rules here. He's 12 meters away, and... No. 12 meters away, 12 meters away, meters, 12 meters is... he's at short range, so what happens if you're out of range? He'll actually aim for his action. That's what he'll do. He aims at Newt for his action. What that does is... No, he's not going to do that, because you're probably going to just charge him. Let me see. I got to figure out what happens when you're out of range. I think it's some sort of penalty. Let's see.
It's disadvantage.
Is it disadvantage?
If it's outside your range.
Perfect.
Yeah, attacking a target beyond your weapon's range imposes
Perfect.
disadvantage.
So he is at close, and you are at short. So those stub revolvers are or stub pistols are real close range weapons. So he is going to fire at you, Newt, with disadvantage. Here we go. So disadvantage, no SL or anything like that. Miss. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, so boom, boom, and yeah, because of the disadvantage, it just comes up short. It's a single shot, and he misses. And let me just flip over through those guys. Those guys are both done, and Newt, you're up.
So you said I can be
You can move
2 meters away.
So you can move 2 meters with a free action, and then you can move
Okay.
8 meters with your move action. So you can get there. Yep.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so let's see.
Yep. You can move up to 10 meters with both your things.
Okay. And then
And then target him. Hit a T on him. Yep. Perfect.
that's there.
I'll let-
Okay, just a straight roll, right?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Just click on your
Combat,
yeah,
and then
your
my
weapon
great
there.
great.
Let me get some more combat-y music here. What do we got? So he has to. So he's going to defend. He has to defend.
Wait, why did it roll twice?
Did it? It's the same thing. I don't know why. That's weird. But
No,
it rolled the
that's
same
weird.
thing, so it's like just
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
duplicated the output, not the actual roll. So, huh. Let me look at this guy here. This is a little different. Okay, whatever. So he is. Do I have the right one up? Okay, he's gonna dodge, which is reflexes, if I can find it. Okay, yeah. How do I roll? Okay. Yeah, so you hit him for 6 plus, I don't know, something with the targeting was off there. So 6 plus 8, so 14 damage. And right arm, let me see what, he's just got armor of what, 2, which is penetrating, so 14 damage. Yeah, you kill this guy. How does it look? So
Yeah.
to walk through it just real quick so we know. So the targeting kind of got, I don't know how that happened, but so I'm not sure what this is kind of weird, but so you rolled, you had +2, right? So your SL was +2. He rolled and it was a -4. Okay, so you take that all together, it's a +6, right? And so +6, you add it to your weapon damage, which is 8, and that's
14.
That's 14. He has wounds of 13. These are troops. Troops do not take critical wounds; they just die. So that's what happened. So he's dead.
Sweet. Okay. Newt, seeing them pull out weapons and shoot at Djangus, roars and starts charging. He charges towards the first Void Traveler he sees, and he's by this point pulled out his sword and brought it over his head, and in one sweeping move, he basically kind of cleaves this Void Traveler from his right shoulder down to his left hip in half. Then so be it. Your life is forsaken.
Djangus, you're up.
Yeah, Djangus sees that. Tried to warn you, and he will pull up the pistol and fire at the other guy. They made their bet at this point.
What's your range on your stub revolver? Medium.
It is medium.
Oh, he's
yeah,
well in
good.
range.
So it didn't matter for last one. I just wanted to let you know for the sake of posterity. For whatever reason, my specialization on pistols did not come up from my revolver last time. It wouldn't have made a difference. I just wanted to update you now. It's 48.
Yeah. Okay.
It was 43. I just wanted to make sure. It was only because I put the S for pistols.
Oh, okay.
It was dumb. But for the sake of posterity.
Gotcha. Yeah, you miss again. Yeah, how's it look as you just shoot over this guy's head.
Yeah, Newt right here's a bullet fly past him from behind, and it just hits the wall behind him. Damn it, a little rusty, and he is staying behind the wall. Tucks himself in.
Sure. Trying to figure out how to. I'm just playing with it. Okay. Where? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So shoot, you miss. Let me change the song to something else. He's gonna fire at Newt as he kind of back. Well, he's not gonna back up yet. He's gonna burst fire too. Let's see. Target. Oh, he can't burst fire. He's only got. Still pistols have burst. That's confusing to me. Okay. He can't burst fire though. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Newt, you can use your reaction to dodge a range attack.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your skills, and you should either have dodge or reflexes. Use whichever one's best, and just go ahead and roll that.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I have reflexes, no dodge.
Yeah, that's fine. Do that.
Okay. Ooh.
Rolled it twice again, didn't it?
Yeah.
Strange. Okay, 6 plus whatever his damage was. What's your armor on your leg, by the way?
Hold on.
Burst
It's which leg did he say? Left leg, right? Armor is 2.
2. So 6 plus 6. So 12, 10 damage. I'll add it. So how's it look as he shoots you right in the quad there?
Yeah. So Newt just splits the first Void Traveler, and as he splits, bullets starts coming towards him and hits him in his quad, and kind of almost causes Newt to.
It says yeah, go ahead, but it says 9 damage. I don't understand, but okay. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and almost lose his footing, but he's able to kind of hold himself up.
Okay, let me look at one thing here because that was weird. It says damage is 6 plus SL. Wouldn't that be 12? SL was 6, but then it only. Six plus 6 is 12. Minus 2 is 10. Huh. I don't know what happened there. I still think you took 10 damage. Okay. Alright. He's going to actually keep moving. So that was his shot. He's going to move out of here. Let's see. Where's he going to go? So that's 8 meters. He can move to there. Does, and then he moves one more. He's kind of running away as he shoots at you. And that would put Newt up with a bloody wound.
Okay. Yeah, Newt is for his turn just going to move there.
Okay. Djangus, what would you like to do?
Okay. Check here. I think he's still in range. Let me see.
Medium is...
Up to 24.
It is. Yeah, he is in range.
Yeah, he's just in range. Yeah, I see no reason to leave this cover. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at him again.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Nice.
He's good. He's still okay. Defending against stab revolver. Yep. So he's going to use reflexes to try to dodge. So you get one reaction per round. That reaction typically is dodging a ranged attack, but you can also make attacks of opportunity with it. But you only get one per round. So.
Oh, it's one per round, not one per attacker per round.
Right, one per round. That's a So a melee, you can do that. That's not a reaction. That just happens. But a ranged attack is one per round for a
I
reaction.
think I know why the damage was 9, by the way. Because I'm looking at making the attack.
Uh-huh.
And it says, so for ranged attacks, let's see. Yeah, it looks like damage dealt is equal to weapon damage plus the SL of your attack test.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the melee ones it says weapon damage plus the difference in SL. So I wonder if it's just the ranged attack is just your SL for the damage, whereas the melee one is the difference.
Oh, I see.
It's literally like skill diff, basically.
What is the damage on your stub pistol?
Stub pistol is... Stub revolver is 6.
6. So 6 plus 5 though, right here.
11. Yep.
So, but it's not the difference, right? Or is it the difference? He rolled
Well,
a 0.
he rolled a 0, so it isn't the difference.
Huh.
I mean, it in this case it is the difference because he just rolled 0, so it's like we had nothing to compare it to.
Yep, and then okay, that did take off his armor, so that did hit. Did you do your plus 2 SLs? Like from your?
It should be factored. Let's see. Yeah, it's factored because it's 3 SL on its own as a 17 versus 48. So
Yep.
yeah, it's factored.
So how does it look as you shoot this guy in the stomach? He's hurt, but not quite out.
Yeah, so Djangus finally lines up a good one. It's the guy like is running and maybe turns back to start firing again, and Djangus anticipates it just, and I mean this thing's banging through the hole. You can hear the super loud revolver, and he just nails this dude right in the belly, just taking chunks out of him.
Yeah, you hear him scream, and on his turn, he just runs down this hallway down here, like disappears unless you give chase.
Djangus thinks about it. He sees Newt all fucked up, and he's comfortable just like to stand here for a second. You doing all right, Newt? That looked like a real bad shot. He's gonna reload as he's talking.
I am all right, brother Djangus. It is but a flesh wound. Nothing some time and rest will not heal. I believe this Tobias means me harm. Guess it is time to find out why, and for me to bring harm upon him.
As you talk about that, the door opens to the bathroom, and Jericho's like, "Holy shit! Are you two okay?"
Yeah, not knowing who it is right away, he spins around and has his guns up on.
Yeah, he has his hands up. I don't have any
he-
weapons. I'm not crazy enough to take that bounty.
I'd have to. Yeah, Djangus is not sure. He's gonna intuition it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because he wants to be sure.
Yeah, go for it.
The way this guy was talking earlier, you know.
Yeah. You think he's telling the truth. You don't see any weapons on him, first of all, And second of all, he had a good opportunity to try to kind of ambush you there, and he didn't.
Didn't. Yeah, so Djangus thinks on that, and he doesn't put his gun on, but he lowers. He takes it all. He doesn't sweep Jericho with it anymore. He's like, I believe you. But if that's the case, you might still want to arm yourself.
He looks down and looks at one of the guy who's dead, and he kind of steps around the body which has been bisected and grabs the stub pistol and is like, okay. He grabs the extra 2 bullets and kind of puts them in a pocket. I'm not much good with this shit. But you know, if this bounty hunter has the ship, then he must be docked. We could steal his ship and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, Djangus doesn't hate that idea. He looks at Newt and... What are you thinking, Newt? You want to get on out of here and mosey, or you want to deal with this fella?
We have been given our orders, and the Emperor's work waits. We will be leaving this sector anyway. Tobias has made himself known. If he wishes my head, he will hunt me. But now I know I'm hunted, which means that he has lost his element of surprise, and I shall wait him the next time. If you know the way, Jericho, then lead. I shall follow and protect you as well.
Well, I have a decent idea. I know my way around Voyage ships, so, yeah, I don't really want to lead, because, did you kill that other fellow that ran off? He could be waiting to shoot us. Plus, I don't think it's the bounty hunters here by himself. Now, we could have the whole crew after you.
Yeah. Djangus looks at Newt, and he sees Newt. He knows Newt's eager to get in, but he sees that wound, and he's like, Newt, I'll take point on this one. That's a real rough shot. I know that you're gonna tough it out, but best if I at least try to scout out any potential threats to us as we're moseying through this thing.
Yes, that is a good point, brother. Pride falls, and I shall take your assistance. Lead the way. Guide us, Jericho. Stand between Djangus and me. Nothing will harm you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, this way. And you kind of start creeping out into the hallway there. Let me activate this. You see kind of you kind of creep out there, and you see armsmen coming this way. They have assortment of weapons. What do they have? They have las pistols and combat shotguns. They're kind of normal armsmen that you would see on a Void ship. They look to be hunting for something. There is a couple cross corridors, and Jericho points to one of them, but they're kind of like searching this area, and you think you're pretty sure if you just sit here, they're gonna find you. So you're gonna have to either sneak across there, or run, or do something. That's kind of up to you. It's probably 6 meters across the hallway here to the other corridor. It's well lit.
Yeah, Djangus, the best thing right now, it seems like, because he's not sure Jericho's any good at fighting, and Newt's kind of messed up. He looks at him, and he just kind of puts a finger to where his lips would be on his mask, and he's trying to signal stealth, basically. He points over to the corridor. He'll try to slip across when there's an opening.
Newt nods back.
Alright, why don't you give me stealth rolls? Challenging as normal.
Trying to think if there's anything I can try to do here. Do we see... Oh, shit.
That's okay. It's going to be a opposed test, so it's not necessarily a failure.
I was going to see if I can see any, panels or anything like that. That might be the lights.
Why don't you give me a awareness roll? Is it awareness? I think it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Or tech. I'd say tech too.
I will take
I
away.
figured. 55. Yeah, you do actually. There is a panel close by. You think you have rudimentary kind of knowledge that could control environmentals in this area?
Yeah, if I can,
It's just a tube you could just yank out. There's not anything sophisticated about it.
yeah, I think I'll do that, and just like yank it with the idea that that might help us get across
Yeah,
in the dark.
absolutely. It does basically turn off the lights. Let me see if I have a. You know what? Ambiance. Lighting. Oh yeah, hold on. Look at that.
Oh, that's sexy.
Foundry. Yeah, so you do flip off the lights. Djangus, I'm gonna say the role is what is the hold on, let me I'm getting my nomenclature correct. Routine. So that would be a plus 20, so that's a success. So you're gonna have that same opportunity there, Djangus. So go ahead and give me a routine stealth check.
Uh,
Wow. That's good. So the worst we have is a basically a SL0 for Newt. Armsmen are going to roll, or one of them will. So for them, this is going to be inverted. They do have awareness sight, but this is going to be a hard check for them. So they need a SL1 or greater. No. They don't see you guys as you go across. They're like, what happened? What happened? As you kind of go across and Jericho follows you, and you're in this other corridor now, far enough away where they're just kind of like scrambling around trying to turn on the lights, and they do not seem to be able to find you there.
yeah, so when he thinks they're out of earshot, alright, I don't think they're gonna follow us here. What's next, Jericho?
Just down this way, and yeah, continues on down here. Let me So you come to this. There's some escape pods here, and then at the far end there is a hatch, probably to where they have. You see, this is not an exact great. A great depiction. Like this door is like forced open. It's like kind of probably a meter across, open. Looks like there's some dead armsmen here, where there was a fight to come in, and you see kind of blinking lights on the other side. So yeah, I think that's it, says Jericho.
Be careful, might have left a guard in there. And Djangus is gonna just kind of move up real slow and take a peek inside.
You take a peek inside, and there is an armsman sitting or kind of standing. He doesn't see you apparently. Kind of standing there. He's smoking some sort of cigarette-like thing, and you see that there's a walkway further in.
Yeah, Djangus sees him. It's just the him. This is one guy.
Yeah, you only see the one guy in there.
Yeah, and so Djangus is gonna look back at Newt and Jericho and kind of wave them to the side, so they're like hiding behind stuff. He's like trying to direct them to behind cover.
Yeah, Jericho gets down behind a crate, no problem.
Newt kind of hides behind like a wall if it's there.
And Djangus is just gonna hope they get what he's put down here, and he's gonna clear his head. Hey fella, we need some help out here. And he's like trying to draw him out.
He spins around. What's going on? Did you get him?
Not yet. That bastard's a tough son of a bitch, and some bleeding hearts are helping him out. We need all hands on deck for this one.
This damn door. And give me a give me a presence deception if you got it. I'll give you. We'll make it do it with not advantage, but do it with a +10. Or is there a +10 or is it just a +20? Let's see.
It's just routine.
Yeah, just do a routine then. Yeah, he walks. He like squeezes through. You know, he's got flak armor on, and he just kind of like, or he doesn't even have flak, but he's got some sort of light armor. He kind of like shimmies out. Very exposed.
Yeah, as he's shimmying out, I'm gonna put my gun in his face, like, and just I'm gonna give him the chance. I'm gonna say, all right now. And Djangus just looks at him. Now you're in a real difficult position. So you gonna cooperate with me here, or am I gonna put you down?
He has resolve 2. What would I say the superiority of this is? I think he's outnumbered. And you've got the drop on him, and I would say you have at least superiority 2, if not 3, and he is not really wanting to die, and so he just puts his hands up. His weapon is holstered because he had to kind of shimmy through, and he's like, "Yeah, fine. I'm just hired help, man. Don't shoot me."
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my gun on him, and I'm gonna reach to take his from him. And I'm like, "Now, don't you try to stop me now." And I'm gonna reach to grab his. He's got like a stub.
He's got a las pistol, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that out.
And
of
he's got a
holster.
shotgun that's hanging off his shoulder. And you could take both off. He doesn't attempt to stop you.
Yeah, I am gonna do that. I'm gonna take them both, and I'm gonna throw them to the side. And he's gonna, Newt, Jericho, come on up. Wait for them to come up. He's gonna...
Give me an awareness roll, by the way. Whoever would like to. Just challenging, normal. You're pretty good at that one. You notice he has a microbead in his ear. He hasn't done anything with it. He hasn't had a chance to touch it because you have to touch it to kind of to speak into it, but.
Yeah, so as Djangus is waiting for Archer to come up, he's looking at him. Now, I don't want to kill you. I know you're just doing what you're paid for, but we're getting on out of here. You are going to keep your hands where I can see them, and you don't put a finger on that bead. You hear me?
Yeah. I don't feel like dying today.
Yeah, so Djangus will wait till Newt and Jericho come up to the door.
Yeah, Jericho goes over to the door and tries to fiddle with it, and he's like, "It's stuck. We'll have to go in one at a time."
Grab those guns first. And he points over at the guns that were on the Merc.
He just walks over and grabs a shotgun and holds it kind of awkwardly and puts the strap over his shoulder and grabs the pistol off the ground. "You want this?" He gives it to Newt. "Or the other thing?"
No, you keep both. I have my weapon. I do not need anything else.
And looks down at your leg, which is like a mess, bleeding. He's like, "You okay?" "I'm no Medicaid, but that looks bad."
The Emperor protects. I am okay for now.
Fine. And he waits for somebody else to go through the door. He's not.
Yeah. Djangus, he looks at the armsman. Come all the way out now, real slow.
Yeah, he's in the room with you now. He's got his arms up still.
Yeah, and so I'll keep him. I'll kind of like I'll direct him with the gun to kind of step to the side, give us enough room to operate.
Mhm.
All right, Newt, you go on first, then Jericho, then I'll come.
As you say. And Newt kind of bends, and quite painful now as he's kind of squatting to and squeezes through the door. For a moment it looks like he's stuck, his wide frame through that stuck door, but then he's able to push through. The bleeding leg almost lubricates his lower half.
Mhm. Yeah, you get on the other side. There's a long walkway along the void ship. You don't see anyone in there.
Yeah, and then Djangus will after Jericho goes through,
Yeah, Jericho
he'll
will.
yeah he'll gesture for the armsman to turn around and face the other way, face away from him.
Oh, don't shoot me in the back, man. Come on.
And then he'll so the beads, they're just like kind of pushed in the air. They're not like attached in any other way,
No, yeah, it's just it's just like a
like an AirPod.
yeah, kinda. Mhm.
Yeah. So he's gonna yank that out,
Mhm.
and he's gonna give the guy a shove, and he says, "Start running. I'm gonna give you a count."
I'm going. And he runs down the hallway away from you and
Yeah.
turns the corner.
Djangus will slide through now.
You slide through.
Yeah.
You give the door a peek. There's no way to close it on this side. You could close the outer door for the ship that connected to this one. Hatch.
Is there anything around like in the other room to put in front of it that's make it harder to get through?
Yeah, in the room you just left.
Oh no, in the room that we're
No,
in now.
not really.
Like the hallway.
Because
Nah,
it's like in working order, right? It's like the hatch, right? They connect, and there's two doors facing each other, and your door is fine, the bounty hunter door. This door of the ship that they came into is all fucked up because they wrenched it open probably manually.
Yeah. So yeah, he will just once we're all on the other side, I'll just close the door that we have. That's all.
Yeah, and you can lock it too. That's
I will.
yeah. So you lock it. And you make your way. So Jericho doesn't particularly know. He's like, well, he looks around and I don't see any schematics of this place. But then he kind of follows along. There's some signs that kind of say cockpit this way. Whatever this way, and you kind of follow that and you come up to the outside of this. It's a small void ship. It's it's probably about the size of the one that the cargo ship, the passenger ship that you were on, and you're just outside the cockpit there, and you can tell me what you would like to do.
So we're standing just outside.
Yeah,
the
just
cockpit
outside
on
of
this
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the door open or closed?
It
to
is.
the
It is
cockpit?
closed. Yeah.
Yeah. So possibility. Djangus thinking there might be somebody in there, so he looks at Jericho and Newt. They might have the pilot still in there unless the bounty hunter was flying. I don't know. We should be ready just in case.
Do you want to just kill him? Go in firing?
If we have to, but I don't want to risk damaging nothing in the cockpit.
Alright.
You ready, Newt? I'm gonna lean into you on this one in case there is somebody and they ain't willing to negotiate.
Yes. Let me go in first, because if that person wishes to shoot, at least I can return without damaging anything.
Alright, on three. And 1, 2, and then it'll hit whatever button to open the door. And let Newt,
Yeah, it's
let
pretty
Newt
it's
hustle.
pretty quick when you hit it, and there's two pilots in there that you can see at different stations. I'll just flip it over to this. And they spin around suddenly, kind of startled. And what do you do?
I'll train gun on them, and on my part. And all right, let's not get crazy, and maybe you two can make it out of this alive.
Yeah, I think with the superiority again, they don't seem to be real interested in doing anything. They kind of put their hands up. One have their hands kind of over the console, like they're thinking about doing something. Why don't you give me a presence check, whoever would like to, with a big bonus. Let's say easy.
I'll do it.
Yeah, they think otherwise, and they just take their hands away. Fine. We're not doing anything. We just fly the ship, man.
Yeah, so Djangus will, do I see anything I could use to tie them up? Like bind their hands?
I'm sure you
or
can
anything
find
like
some wires or something to do it, yeah. You have manacles, too, if you wanted to use them, but...
Oh, if I have manacles, perfect.
Yeah, I think they're in your equipment. I think...
I do, yeah, I will manacle... Okay, here's how I'll do this. I will, manacle, I'll bring it up. So I guess we get to see who's lucky. He brings out the manacles, and he'll manacle one of the two of them. It doesn't matter to them, and then he'll just find some like haphazard shit. He's gonna like some wires or something like that, and bind the other one. Ideally with Newt overseeing in case they try to get big-headed. Get a little bit of courage.
Yeah, you can kind of just toss them to the side there, and Newt can look over them. They don't seem to be putting any fight up whatsoever.
Newt, is it alright if I leave these two in your tender loving care?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Right. Jericho, it's your show. Work your magic. And he gestures over to the console.
He looks at the... Well, I've never flown a ship before.
Well, I can't say neither of us have. And he looks at Newt, remembering although I don't think he wants to repeat the
Let me hit smash some buttons. Sure goes, oh, I'm just joking. This is no problem. He looks to Newt. He's like, you're a pilot? I didn't take you
when
for
I
one.
need to be. When I must be, I am a pilot. The Emperor guides my hand.
Yeah, he might really like you then. And he sits down and starts fiddling with some things. And about that time, the display screen pops up, and it's like incoming message. And you can tell Jericho says, we're getting a message from the Raven's Call, the ship that we just left. Seems kind of strange. Do you want me to accept it?
Only if you're ready to roll. Give him some parting words.
We'll be out of here pretty quick.
Djangus looks at Newt and leaves it up to him.
Accept the call. You shall hear what they have to say.
Brings it up on the screen, and you see kind of this guy here, and he looks. He's like, "You have surprised me. Why don't you come back over? Fight like a man."
Who are you? Why do you seek my death?
I'm a bounty hunter, like I said. Got a bounty for your head. That's simple, really.
And who is this bounty?
Mm-hmm. You don't know? House Agarius. You killed someone very important, and now they want your head.
Well, if that's the case, then you must continue to hunt me. For today you had me at an disadvantage.
You don't want to come and settle it? I thought you were a warrior. You gonna run and hide? There are some flashing lights in the cockpit, and Jericho goes, they're trying to breach the outer door.
Take off, Jericho. And he turns to Tobias. You have no honor, bounty hunter. For if you wish to fight me one-on-one, you would have made that so from the very beginning, and not put innocent lives in jeopardy. No, you are scum. And for that, you will continue to hunt me. And that shall be your curse. And when we do meet, that is when you will see what it means to fight Newt. For you will live for a very short time.
He grunts and he's about to say something, and Jericho just flips it off, kind of as he pulls out and says, well, that bird back there is disabled. They won't be able to catch us. It's going to take them days to fix it. Get it void-worthy. Where are we going, boys?
Where we're supposed to go to begin with. Like you said, you're going to make money, right?
Yeah. Just don't know exactly where we were supposed to rendezvous.
Did I have any notes? Or
I think
anything like
probably you guys can figure it out en route. He's just kind of postulating. He goes, well, fine. The Malcharian Sector. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through the mall. He kind of like is talking to himself, and he's like, I hope these Giller fields are worth a shit. I don't want to get raped by demons today.
No, I think we should avoid that if we can help it.
What about you, Newt?
Gonna go
You up for some demon rape?
Nothing will happen to us, Jericho. Again, the Emperor protects.
What are you guys gonna do with these pilots? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
No, you good. Let's see. I think at some point, like, 'cause this is a big enough ship where they can...
Oh, you can just stow... Yeah, you can stow them someplace else. That's not a problem.
Yeah, so I think that at some point, not to take up too much more time, at some point Djangus will kind of have them... He won't put them in a closet or some shit. Like, there's enough...
Oh,
space
there's
where
crew
they
quarters.
can
You
do
could dump them. There's nobody else on the
that.
ship.
Yeah.
There's some servitors
would-
and whatnot, but...
He would at some point kind of bring him aside and sit down and take his hat off. I mean, now, I know right now it's not exactly ideal circumstances for you, but I wanted to have a conversation.
Okay. Look, man, we're just the pilots, hired help, but I don't know what that guy does, He's a bounty hunter. We take him places. He does what he does, and we fly him back and forth.
Does that seem legit to me?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you don't...
So yeah, he's sitting there. I believe you. So here's what I'm proposing, because we don't want no trouble on this flight. We're going to... Out of characters, Macarius or Malcharian Sector?
Malcharian.
Malcharian. We're going to the Malcharian Sector. We're supposed to receive an assignment there. Might be good money in it. And, well, it would seem an awful waste. 2 pilots to just not make it. Not be able to make a living.
No.
Or for me to turn you over to who we get to and they decide what you do. But I'd rather not do that.
Yeah, man, we get there, you just drop us off on the nearest populated planet, and we'll figure it out for ourselves, right? Just go our own ways. Like I say, just hired help. Can help you with the ship if you need to.
Well, I was gonna offer you a chance to work for whoever I'm gonna be working for, but if you just want us to drop you off, that can be arranged too.
Yeah, man, I just, maybe just like to disappear on this one, Not get involved in any, entanglements between you and the bounty hunter. No offense.
Right. None taken. It's a difficult universe, and Djangus is gonna get up, and he's put his hat on. I'm gonna trust you. Don't make me regret it. And he's gonna take the manacles off.
Yeah, you take the manacles off, and Jericho's like, I would just space them.
No. Killing's easy. Keeping people alive was hard.
He grunts, fine. Pulls out a low stick and smokes it, and he fires up the. You get close to. So you're gonna have to. I wasn't thinking about this, but you got to find basically what happens over the series of a week or something. You probably go to Port Wander, and you find transport. You ditch the ship, and you find transport across the mall in a ship that has a navigator and whatnot. And eventually, a few weeks later, you end up in the Malcharian Sector. And if there's any final role play, you can go ahead and give it now. There's basically the pilots, they probably leave at Port Wander, hide. You see no signs of Tobias or any other of the Raven's Call or anybody like that. And I'm guessing probably it would make sense that you were supposed to rendezvous with, the 1001 Mercantile Corporation on Port Wander and take their ship across the mall. So yeah, you're with the Merc company that you're supposed to be, and Jericho is there as well. And go ahead and you can give me some final roleplay before we end.
Yeah, Djangus will look to Newt. Presumably his leg is not a bloody mess, but probably still in recovery.
Yeah. It wasn't a critical wound, so.
Yeah. Djangus shakes his head and he's like, it's always something, ain't it, Newt?
Yes. Our actions sometimes come back to haunt us. Now it seems that the individual I killed, his house wants my head. And so be it. More blood shall flow.
Well,
But as long as we are in the service of the Emperor, we shall be fine.
well, for what it's worth, Newt, I stand by the decision you made back then. From what I hear about that, well, he wasn't the best fella. Likely he had it coming.
Yes. Though I don't remember much from that time. I was still in shock at the universe and the galaxy from leaving my home. I do know that the rogue trader wished to sell me as property, and I am no one's property. And for that, he lost his head. And if his family wishes to take mine away from me, then so be it. But I do know that if we are worthy of our new employer, then there might be something to it. And if not, it's not. They may send all the bounty hunters, but you were a bounty hunter as well before, in a past life. And with you by my side, we should be able to see new threats coming our way. They have revealed themselves, and that was their folly.
Yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes open. Well, there's gonna be a lot to deal with now. But I suppose that ain't much different than the past. It was like that working for the Inquisition too.
Jericho,
Yes.
he interjects and says, "So are we like 3 buddies now? Always doing stuff together, making like lots of money? Gonna watch my back, right?"
Angus looks at me. I suppose we are. Going through something like that.
Yeah, God Emperor protects, man.
And whatever missions we happen to go on with you, Jericho, well, you take care of us, we'll take care of you. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I assume this conversation's happening in kind of like a bunk, just like where we kind of started, and he flops on the cot and falls asleep and starts snoring rather quickly. And if there's nothing else, the thing can fade, and we can end it here.
Sounds good.
All right. Man, that's a deadly system.
Didn't
Oh,
die.
yeah.
Made it.
Didn't die.